TCIG X Spaces Highlights July 2025 Part 1.
SEC Chairman Paul Atkins, he spoke about tokenization, that it's innovation and it is the next step to efficiency in the marketplace. Galaxy, they're like a trading hub. They are everything digital assets. They have data centers. Started back in 2018, but I know that CEO Mike Novogratz was around much earlier than that. He was part of the 2013 era. But Galaxy wrapped up their first venture fund, One. They are bringing together founders of early stage teams in financial services to bridge this gap between traditional finance, or TradFi, and decentralized finance, or DeFi. And so this first venture fund closed at $175 million, which was way above their target. The mission is to bring institutions into the blockchain revolution. They have $7 billion in assets under management. They have over 1,300 trading counterparties. They are one of the leading liquidity providers in the crypto space. And they also have 800 megawatts of approved capacity at AI/high performance computing data center campuses. Kraken, I believe, is going to go public in 2026. They are penetrating the United States market right now. They started like their flagship location in Wyoming. Wyoming is a very crypto-friendly state. Another thing about Galaxy is that SharpLink Gaming had come out as one of the first major backers of, starting an Ethereum strategic reserve, and Galaxy is backing them. And so Galaxy is very heavily integrated with Ethereum. Tom Lee, he's from Fundstrat. It says he's joining BitMine, which is a Bitcoin mining company, as chairman. But the kicker is that the company plans to raise $250 million and become the MicroStrategy of Ethereum. So they look to build one of the largest public Ethereum treasuries. To see a Bitcoin mining company build one of the largest public Ethereum treasuries is something I thought I would never see. Tokenized stocks have arrived. 3 major trading platforms launching tokenized stocks is a clear signal to the world. On-chain capital markets are no longer experimental, they're inevitable. And that comes with Robinhood. They are launching on-chain stocks. I saw this coming a long time ago. I have been talking about it. And Coinbase was actually the first stock to be tokenized. But you even have like pre-IPO for OpenAI and SpaceX being able to be traded on-chain. So they are starting with MicroStrategy, rolling out more tokenized stocks and ETFs in the coming days. This is inevitable. This is the start of tokenization. Tokenization is crypto, but now tokenization will move into stocks, equities, private markets, debt, real estate, commodities, all your luxury goods, yachts, tankers, ships, basically everything of value. So this is just the beginning. More on Gemini. They have a range of trading features, and they do have a pretty user-friendly app. It supports 150 plus crypto and now stocks, and they are operational in over 70 countries, and they do have their own stablecoin, the GUSD. They also just released a credit card, a Bitcoin credit card, one of the only in the crypto space right now. But they have a cashback credit card that you get cashback in crypto. Just so you know, all these are built by the one and only Arculus. So Gemini is part of a bunch of crypto companies that the SEC dropped investigation against a couple months ago now, alongside Crypto.com, Ripple, Coinbase, Consensus, Kraken, Cumberland, PulseChain, Hex, Immutable, Yuga Labs, Robinhood, OpenSea, and Uniswap. So the gates are open. When you realize that, okay, go buy a house, but that's really just a luxury that you want in life to live somewhere. Real estate should not be used as an investment. It should be used as a luxury, that if you want to buy a house, go buy a house. And I said it many months ago that I know this pertains to China mainly, but instead of a one-child policy, we should have a one-house policy. Okay, maybe 2, but in this case, I'm saying 1 because it just goes with the one-child policy. Because really, when you think about it, why do you need more than one? When you understand Bitcoin and crypto, you would never buy another house. Even if you had the money and you were renting it out and you had tenants, it just does not make sense. And it opens up more opportunity for other people to own houses. And it's not a monopoly of these large corporations that own the majority of real estate. So yes, there's lots of money to be made in real estate. And for many, many decades, for I guess centuries now, it has been store of value for wealth around the world. You were really forced from the system you were living in that you needed to put your money elsewhere because it doesn't grow anywhere else. It gets taken from you. And really, real estate as well. If you read this thing from Grant Cardone, if you know anything about real estate, Grant Cardone, I don't know how much bigger you get. I mean, he's behind Proppy. He's part of all kinds of different crypto / real estate events. You don't own your home. If you are forced to pay property taxes, you're renting for 30 plus years and you call it ownership, but a house is a liability, not an asset. You come to realize that you really don't own anything. The only thing that you can really own is crypto in cold storage. It's really the only thing on this planet that you can really own. Even if you own a house, unless it's fully paid off, like he's saying, mortgage interest 7% times 30 years, property taxes 2% times 30 years, maintenance 1%, I think that's kind of low, 1% times 30 years, and then he puts a question mark by insurance percentage because all these percentages are variable, but insurance, you can be living in Florida and have outrageous insurance and maybe not even be able to have certain insurances. He says the bank, government, and insurance companies are likely to make more money on you buying a house than you are. Don't hate the messenger. And it is so true. The writing is on the wall, and everyone is trying to tell you the future is digital capital. Real estate investors will not be a thing. Like, neither will realtors in the future. You should be able to go to Zillow and add a house to your cart that you like, and then check out with Bitcoin. And there are platforms like Crypto Real Estate. You can go on Crypto Real Estate, and they settle the transaction. I think it's back into fiat, which is a little odd to me, but they have the rails in which to, have that on and off ramp for accepting the crypto and settling the transaction. Really just buying data. You buy the data that is worth a certain amount that is in a hash on blockchain. People should not fight this. This is going to be good for society. Things will become abundant. You become a producer. You no matter how much crypto you own, the goal is to have more because it is the only finite thing on the planet. It's the only way that you can protect your purchasing power. It's the only way to end war. So you want to keep supporting fiat, just know you're supporting war. No proof of work. It is proof of military. There are 1,000,001 reasons why you should care, why we need to stand with crypto. You can buy the only finite money on earth using infinite paper fiat money. People will look back at this period as the dumb age. So Rick Edelman, he founded the $300 billion investment advisory firm, Edelman Financial Engines. For the first time, he now recommends 40% Bitcoin and crypto allocation for aggressive investors. The traditional 60-40 stock bond allocation model is dead. This is due to unprecedented rates of longevity brought by remarkable advances in technologies. After 39 years in the financial services field, announced for the first time the correct crypto allocation. I like the overall premise, but I do not like how this is worded because it's like, should now have a 10% crypto allocation. I hate how they put these in categories, conservative, moderate, aggressive. Like, everyone is able to be an investor. And I think the entire financial industry is being turned upside down. It used to be that if you wanted to invest, you'd have to go find someone, or someone that will take your money and do what they think is best for it. But now crypto has enabled the power to be in every individual's hands. And that's what we are trying to help people understand. Anybody can do this. Anybody can have a cold storage wallet. And it is the bare bones, the last option of the roadmap. And yes, it takes a lot of responsibility, but like, if you want true ownership of something, it needs to be in cold storage. You can go buy these treasury companies being built, you can go buy the ETFs, you can go buy Bitcoin on a number of the onboarding services that are out there, but it's still not true ownership. You still have to answer to someone, you still need to go through the hoops of transferring. So it is a new age, a new era. Owning crypto is no longer a speculative position. It's actually more risky not to have it. The ChatGPT moment is like the most exponential growth you can imagine. Ethereum serves as the primary destination for tokenized assets. The leading tokenization initiatives have explicitly chosen Ethereum as their foundational infrastructure. More than 10.2 billion, or 82% of all tokenized non-stablecoin assets, including treasuries, credit markets, yield-bearing funds, have been issued on Ethereum by leading global institutions BlackRock, JP Morgan, Franklin Templeton, Fidelity, Apollo, Deutsche Bank, UBS, Sony. The list just goes on. And at the end there it says, Ethereum is approaching its ChatGPT moment, a sudden, widespread realization among mainstream institutions that Ethereum is best suited to power the digital infrastructure of the future. What do all these companies have in common? They're all building on Ethereum. Robinhood, Coinbase, EY, PayPal, Visa, JP Morgan, Sony, Shopify, BNY, Standard Chartered, Deutsche Bank, Stripe, Franklin Templeton, BlackRock, Kraken, MasterCard, Fidelity. They just keep coming. Here are 28 things that the Ethereum ecosystem has done over the last few weeks. Shopify announced support for stablecoins on Base. So when you go and check out on any Shopify store, the default will come up as, you want to pay with crypto? giving millions of businesses in 175 plus countries access to Ethereum-powered commerce. On-chain social network Zora is now the 91st most popular social app in the US App Store. Ethereum is for creators earning on-chain. Etherealize published the bull case for ETH, a new report aimed at institutional investors advocating for ETH as a globally significant asset. ETHdigitaloil.com, ETHdigitaloil.com, ETHdigitaloil.com. JP Morgan with their stablecoin. Uniswap surpassed 84 billion in swap volume. The Build Fund paid out 10 million in dividends on Ethereum in May. Anthony Pompliano, he released his interview with CZ from Binance. If you have an hour, well, if you speed it up 1.5, it'll take you about 45 minutes, but this is an interview you may want to take some time. American BTC with Hut 8, they may be merging with Griffin Mining, and they just raised over 200 million to buy Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining machines. That is in our foreground, is to work on the development of a mining facility, whether that's Bitcoin, Caspa, or any of the other ones that you can mine. What I see is a multi-stage mining facility with mining many different coins. We will work towards building an Ethereum strategic reserve for TCIG. Our future initiatives, which include building out our educational resources and services for retail and enterprise levels. We want to drive adoption on college campuses. We want to drive women empowerment advocacy. We are starting the beginning pieces of creating a nonprofit DAO, the opportunity generator, whatever we can do to help people out as we go. We want to create opportunities where we can. We want to help the unhoused. That is a very large piece with real estate, is to get people off the streets and help people, because it doesn't have to be like this. And a big reason why it is because the majority of real estate is squandered by big corporations. Crypto will stop this. Out big pharma, because yes, we need medicines, we need innovative inventions, maybe not thousands upon thousands of pill pushers out there just selling the next pill because that's what their job is. And a lot of this stuff is very wasteful. Disaster relief. Of course, the biggest of them all, no more war, and the Fed, and racism, and less waste. Bitcoin regulations are changing fast and globally. Since 2020, 47 countries have increased access to Bitcoin, while 4 of them restricted it. It says 34 countries have approved Bitcoin ETFs or ETPs, including the United States, Germany, Canada, Brazil, Australia, Japan, and more. Bitcoin is no longer just for techies, it's now an institutional grade asset. The US allowed banks to custody Bitcoin in 2025. This regulatory milestone gives Wall Street the green light to offer Bitcoin to clients via traditional banking. It's a game changer for Bitcoin adoption. Crypto is the only financial market where retail is able to get in before institutions. Russia in 2024, they legalized Bitcoin mining. They allowed BTC for international payments. Argentina legalized Bitcoin payments while facing a 200% inflation. I don't know how much more inflation they could handle. Nigeria embraced Bitcoin after banning it in 2021. Good move. Hong Kong allowed retail investors to buy Bitcoin. Turkey, facing more than 70% plus inflation, the country legalized Bitcoin payments. Same story, different country. Bolivia reversed course in 2024 after years of restrictions. The country legalized Bitcoin, a strong signal that policy can shift under economic pressure and grassroots demand. Too long, didn't read. 47 countries, more access. 4 countries that no one cares about, less access. Bitcoin is being embraced as a hedge, a payment rail, and an asset class from Latin America to Asia. This is bigger than tech. Bitcoin is becoming a global financial infrastructure from Wall Street to emerging markets. Don't sleep on Bitcoin. Bitcoin mining, it's becoming the backbone of energy and compute markets. Go figure. It balances solar and wind, it fills AI's downtime, it makes the grid profitable. So if you look at these, renewable energy generation fluctuates with the weather and time of day. Bitcoin mining workloads are flexible, easily ramped up or down. And then Bitcoin mining responds to renewable energy generation to balance supply and demand. Nothing else in the world does this. Then you go to the next one, AI workloads fluctuate with user demand. Another fluctuation. Bitcoin mining workloads are flexible, easily ramped up or down. Bitcoin mining responds to AI workloads to create consistent demand. Crypto and AI are converging. The creator of Twitter, now X and Cash App, Jack Dorsey, he left to create a Bitcoin hardware wallet and many other things in space. And now he's created BitChat, which is a Bluetooth messaging app that doesn't need the internet or cell service. So within an hour, users have started sending Bitcoin using the peer-to-peer encrypted mesh network. As much as we love Bitcoin, we love Ethereum a little bit more here at TCIG. And this one from Cointelegraph says, BitDigital sold all of its Bitcoin and bought $200 million of Ethereum, now holding over $250 million in Ethereum. Wow, that is a Bitcoin mining company. BitDigital is a Bitcoin mining company, and there's a video that I just saw today. He explained a little bit more that Ethereum is the future of the financial markets. This one from Everstake just shows the spread of nodes for Ethereum. If you click on this one, it shows the heat map, and then it explains a little bit more. It says each bright dot is a node in the Ethereum network. This is what global decentralization actually looks like. The US and Germany are still leading in node density. There's also a strong presence in the Netherlands, France, UK, Switzerland. Not all concentrated in the global north. You can see Ethereum nodes across Brazil, South Africa, Australia, Nigeria, Kenya. It is the sign of Ethereum's truly global reach. World Liberty Financial, the company behind the President of the United States. Again, doesn't matter who it is, but just the fact that it is, and also his Truth Social announced starting a reserve. But World Liberty Financial, 95% of their holdings is, you guessed it, Ethereum. Worth over $170 million. TCIG started in real estate, and still no one's paying attention. At some point they will. In April 2023, the price was $500,000, which was 22.5 Bitcoin. Today, the value is $575,000, woo, which is 5.3 Bitcoin. In less than 2 years, my home value increased 15% in dollars, woo, but it lost 76% of its value in Bitcoin, haha. Real estate is collapsing in front of our eyes. Wake up. From an executive at Swan Bitcoin. In quotes, just work harder, you lazy kids. I have heard this kind of ignorant rhetoric from self-righteous boomers in person. It's appalling. Yes, it is. The money is broken. Bitcoin is the best hope of everyone under 40 who doesn't already have a $500,000 plus in assets. So the chart is buying a home in 1985 versus 2022. And here's another one on real estate. Your house needs constant maintenance. For anyone who has owned a house, which I have personally owned two, for the purpose of house hacking, you know that it is a constant struggle every day of your life. Every time you wake up, there's something else is broken and you need to fix something. So it is constant maintenance, appliances, 5 to 15 years, paint 10 years, HVAC 15 years, driveway 15 years, roof 20 years. And with the materials today, those are like a max. And there you go. Bitcoin requires no maintenance and is built to last generations, so choose how you store your wealth. Everything else rots. People are really so distracted. Bitcoin and AI are inevitable next steps for humanity. You have to be blind not to see it. Everyone is against Bitcoin until they're not. Demand is increasing and supply is decreasing. Forever. And then the Robinhood CEO, he says, tokenization is the biggest innovation in the past decade. Wow. I have been saying for years, and still no one wants to listen. Look at me here. Struggle and a half to get anyone to listen, anyone to care about where the world is going. Everything will be tokenized. In order to be a pioneer, you have to take all of the arrows with a smile on your face.
Hop on the train and get on chain. Let's cut out all the noise and build together.